Alright. Um, Getting into it, we're doing the. So basically, what I've been doing is at the end of the kind of free code camp lessons, they have these projects, and one of them is like I think we're at that point now. So right now we're here. So actually, I did continue working on the lessons, but as far as the project, we're here. So I was gonna get into that, start it up. Obviously, it won't be finished in this video, but I'm gonna see. So let's see. But I'm gonna build it on GitHub in real time. Build a tribute page. Objective: build an app that is functionally similar to this. Okay, so this. So let's take a look. So this is a tribute page that we're going to be creating. So let's just see it. It says Dr. Norman Borlaug. So I guess it's a tribute to a doctor. Norman Borlaug, third from the left. So third from the left, that would be him right there. Details are important. So trains biologists in Mexico on how to increase wheat fields. So I guess those are biologists, and that's Dr. Norman Borlaug. Part of his lifelong war on hunger. Alright, so here's a timeline of Dr. Borlaug's life. So he was born in here. So we're not going to read all of this, but they died at 95. So that's extremely, extremely long life. Borlaug's life achievement, this and that. That's a quote. If you have time, you should read more about this incredible human being on his website, on his Wikipedia entry. Alright, so this is the website that needs to be functionally similar. So I heard from XX that it's very important to kind of learn about sites and try to replicate their functionality as a good basis of learning. So something we can easily do is, one, to just inspect the code, and then we have all the code that this would ever go to. Just looking at this, just taking a dive into it. Looks like it has a main. In the head, it has a style sheet it's linked to. Has an ID, has a main, has a figure captions, has a figure caption, a section. And then kind of where all of the real thing happens, we kind of found that was in the CSS document. So, I thought when I clicked this, it goes to the link. So is this the? I'm not sure. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the CSS document pulled up, the style sheet pulled up, but where, like, usually how it would work is this would be a link, and I would click it, and it would just kind of go to it. So DevTools. Yeah, it's very strange. Oh, styles.css. Okay, so now this is a CSS document. So I guess I had to click on one of the styles, but I don't remember it being that way. I really don't. But now we have that tab open at least. So this is the code, which without the CSS, it wouldn't look nearly how it looks, but this is all the CSS code. But the goal is to make something functionally similar. So now I'm going to kind of go on what I know. Let's just say this. All right, so I guess just starting the HTML document, I would start it like anything else. So HTML, HTML head. Body. I want to make a doc type up here that I think I should. So forget the doc types again. So I think it's doc type HTML. Is it this? What is the language? The language is English. Oh, N. And I'm pretty sure if I'm going on my memory that there would be some kind of meta tag making it so that the font would be UTF-8. From what I remember. I'll just go on that. Your attribute page should have a main element with a corresponding ID of main. Okay, so as far as the title, let's just call that the title. Well, what's the title for this? Hold on. We'll just call it Dr. Norman. That will be the title. We should have a title. So remember the link. Relative. I remember I said CSS, but it's actually a style sheet. And then it's href styles.css. Then it would be in the body. Main. PID would be main for this. And that would contain all the other elements. You should see an element ID with an ID of title, which contains a string that describes the subject of the tribute page. Okay, so I mean, I already did that. I don't know what it means when it says you should see an element with the ID of title. Okay, so I think they're actually implying we're seeing the code. So okay, so it's in each one. It's a header. I can do that. So I guess they're aware that we're looking at the code. That's implied. So let me just see. Hold on one moment. So I know it's in each one. I know that the title. I know that the ID is title. And I know that, I guess the same as a title tag. I'll make it that. You should see either a figure or a div element with an ID of image div. So I believe it was a figure from what I saw, from what we saw, it was a figure. And it did have the ID of image div. Okay. So figure, so the ID is image div. Within the image div element, you should see an image element. Within the image div element, okay, you should see an image element with a corresponding ID of image. Okay, so there's an image right there. We see it, and the ID is image. Yep. All right. Well, I don't know. It doesn't say though. It does not say the whole image, so I don't see harm in copying this image because I can clearly create an image tag. But it doesn't even say the directions of the link of the image. So how would I don't see the point of that. Alright, so now this is the demonstration page. Within the image div element, so that would be here, that would be figure. So within this element,
you should see an element corresponding with image caption, which contains contextual textual content. So describing the image shown in image div. Okay, so so this is the image shown in image div. So essentially, the caption would describe it. So the caption is right here. So this is the caption. How's it look again? So actually, I think how it's true is it's actually the alternative text for the image. So the alternative text, if you remember, that would, like, let's say this image didn't work. Like, let's say we just mess up the links a little bit. Like, I'll just type Ryan over here, right? Then the image would not be found in the alternative text, because it's an alternative, would load instead. So if the image doesn't load, the alt text loads instead. And what I'm kind of noticing is the alternative text is the same as actually the caption. So I'm gonna get rid of that. There's Ryan, and there's the image. So right now you see no caption. It's just this big image, a lot bigger than this because it's not styled. But I'm going to go with the alternative text for the caption. I believe that's right. Yeah. And the ID needs to be image caption. Yep, and it is. So now if you see the caption. Very similar to this. All right. Describing the image shown in the image div, right? So step 6, you should see an element with the corresponding ID tribute info, which contains textual information, textual content. It's very hard to, I don't know that word for some reason. Textual content. This just text. That's what that means. Describing the subject of the tribute page. So where do we see that? So yeah, it looks like that's all for the figure. So like once that's closed out, and it says so that element with that ID, tribute info, is right here, and it's a section. So let's create a section. and this ID is attribute info. You should see an A element. You should see an A element within the corresponding ID attribute link. So that would be an anchor tag. Wait, hold on. Yeah, so within attribute info, that pertains to all of this. All of this. So all of this how far does it go? Is in attribute info. You should see an element with a corresponding ID attribute info. You should see an A element with a corresponding ID attribute link that links to the outside website that contains additional information about the subject of the attribute page. And you must give your element an attribute of target and set it to blank in order for the link to open in a new tab. So I see that's true. So target blank, we'll make it open a new tab. This is the link, that's the ID. I'm actually just gonna copy it. Oh. So all this is just information. So now we have that. Oh, phone fell. I mean, my mouse fell. So I'll make it so it's open a new tab. The image should use a max width and height. Okay, so right now in this you see it this as this giant image, so it's not controlling the size of the image. So I think if we go back to that image, all the way back to the image, Well, okay, so how are they styling that? So I have a weird feeling we're not gonna find that in here. Or is it? So, what do? How do we refer to an element's ID? So what I suspect is the case is it's going to be #image, and then that's going to be a selector, and all the styles that it wants is going to be in there. So let's look for it. Looks for #image. Oh, actually, so they don't refer to it by the #. I'm not sure why, because it was referring to the #. I'm sure that same code would work. So if I were to hold on. If let's say I were to change this to #image, I believe you get the same result. So this is the exact same website, if we can agree, referring to it by the ID, but we could also refer to it, because it happens to be the only image, as, as just by referring to it, basically like that any images would have the style. But if you want to make it so that you want to talk about this image, then you would do it that way. So I was kind of looking for that. I was actually looking for this. I didn't really think that they're going to do it, but I guess if it's the only image, for whatever reason, I guess that's a better practice. I'm not really sure about that, but that's what they ended up going with. But so for styles, we're gonna put that image in. So what style do they want? They want the max width. And height properties to resize responsively relative to the width of the parent element. So I know that's going to be in percentages, but I don't. Okay, so I don't like when they don't give exact answers. So I'm sure there's some kind of so 100%. So I guess when they say that, they mean 100%. Okay. Then the height property would be auto. And looking up the height property again. Oh, I didn't know to look up other links. What is this? If height is auto, the element will automatically adjust its height to allow its content to be displayed correctly. Okay, that's pretty much what it wants us to do. So things to kind of remember. So these are actually other property values. The browser calculates height. This is a default, so it's the default height. Length defines the length in pixels, centimeters. And when it's a percentage, it's going to be a percentage of its containing block. So if it's the parent element has a height of 50%, or sorry, it has a height of like, let's say, I don't know, 100 pixels, and you say 50%, then that image is going to have a height of 50 pixels. So it's a relative to its parent. Like whenever it's a percentage, it's always relative to the parent. Initial sets this property to its default value. Not really sure about that, but yeah. I kind of want to just go on for about a half hour. I'm gonna continue this, and I'm actually gonna save this onto GitHub. That's kind of just the last thing I'll do. One, I'll save the code here. Okay, now it's saved. And is this code saved? Alright, so all the code is saved, but I do want to get it on GitHub though. Hold on. So I'm gonna make a new repository for it, and I'm gonna call it Tribute. Free Code Camp Project. Don't see a need for a README file. There's no need for any of that. I wonder if you can create the file here, because it will be correct. Styles.css, and that will be the name, and for styles at least, we just have this so far. Then commit changes. I'll just say the date, 6/27/2023 at 4:49 p.m. Commit changes, and I'll make another one. Yeah, so I'm just trying to get more used to it. I guess I could have created it. Normally what I would do is obviously I would like create it kind of on the desktop and then upload it, but because I'm building it on Free Code Camp, it's just it seems kind of easier to do it this way. By actually just making the file again. Or I'm pretty sure you can find a way to download the file. Like if I wanted to, yeah, I'm actually sure if I wanted to download this, there's like a button to do that. Oh, I don't. Oh, save the code. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there was a way, but I forget. But now, I'm gonna just copy. I'm now gonna copy this code because this is the HTML code. Actually, I'll just do Control A, copy it, and I'm gonna save that. Oh, I mean, new file. Create a new file? Yeah. So I think it would be index.html, right? Index.html. And this would be the code. So commit the changes at 6/27/2023 at 4:51 p.m. And that will be the code. So if I were to even pull this up on my phone, I'll see this code. I'm actually gonna do a test. I can't show it, but I'm gonna just for my own assurance, I want to just see it work. One moment. Alright, so I have my phone right here. I'm gonna go on my GitHub app, where you can't really code on your phone, but you can still see the code. Alright, I'm going to my repositories. I do see Tribute. Browse code. I see index, and I see the code. I see it. So I know that on another device. So I could be in across the world. I would see my code. So that's kind of the use of GitHub to collaborate. But yeah, that's it for now.